Hello everybody, ready for the animation stream. Just give me 2 seconds, set a few things up, and then we'll get this thing started. This will be a nice and easy day for animating. Oh baby. Hope you're all doing alright. Welcome to Eric Animation Radio. Hello, mother. Let's see. Get you up. Alright, just about ready to go, everybody. Alright. Let's do this. No. Damn. Why did I do that? Stop. There we go. Alright. I don't know why I was doing that, but give me 1 more minute. I'm so sorry. I thought I had this ready to go. Hell with it. We're just gonna do window cat because I don't want to be messing with that. Alright. Yeah. Morning. Or afternoon, I should say. It's 1 o'clock. We are gonna do... Ooh, don't need to see that. That's the chat. Alright, we are gonna do the Frogman idle. The idle pose. So I have everything set up. The only thing I don't have is a reference because this one's hard to do as a reference. Not necessarily, I can't say it's not needed, it's just more trouble than it's worth going through setting all that stuff up. Plus I didn't have a lot of time. Anyway, yeah, so little catch up. I've been animating for my company Blipped again, so that's why I haven't been streaming my animations as much lately. We have a few other unannounced things have happened, which I will eventually put out, hopefully. We're not going to get into that again. I know I keep mentioning that there's upcoming news, but the news keeps getting delayed and delayed. Not really delayed, just I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna continue on with this little guy. We got his pose already because this is the same exact pose I stole from the attack cycle. And notice I didn't even save it. Save you have. And I already set up a folder for idle. Always keep good naming conventions. So what a lot of people like to do is they'll do like a frog and then underscore attack, and then the first letter of the next word is going to be capitalized. I see that happening a lot between a bunch of companies, but it's usually preference. Each company will have their own naming conventions for everything, and it is very, very important that you follow those naming conventions, whatever they do. I keep my stuff like this. This is how organized, unless it's like a key save, like saying like it's the final one, then I'll remove the 001 and the point, and I'll just do underscore final, or I'll do underscore final version 1, version 2 if they need adjustments. But that's normally how I keep it for my personal sake, because it's easy to remember. Yeah, I have a good name convention. I have a good organized file set up. I can find everything easily. So I'm gonna save that real quick. Bring it to it. So if they had something on idle poses or standing poses, I have done these before though. So this is something I do actually have. I do have experience in, because this is what I do all the friggin' time. Not that I hate it, I actually like it. Oh, I guess they don't have it. I guess they just have don't have it in this book, but I thought they did. I'm still not done reading that book. I need to finish reading it, but still, phenomenal book. The Game Annan by Jonathan Cooper. I want to make sure it's up on screen. My stuff's delayed as per usual. God, I'm sorry. You gotta look at the top of my head. It's gross. Whatever. That should have been enough time, and you probably should have gotten all of it. It looks like that. God, why is my nose itchy? So this is fairly easy. However, there are a few minor things there to take note that I have learned, and that is to end it on 91. Why did I not end it on 91? That was like the biggest thing about this. So, since it is, well, we have working room. So, idle poses is literally just the standing motion of the character when they're standing still. It's just like a soft, like little breathing motion. I don't believe the character has a scale. No. It does not have a breathing thing. It's a hard thing to do. It's not easy, but you can almost imitate it by doing something like that. You'd have to counter animate the top pose, the top chest, but you can get like get that little motion. You can mimic the breathing motion, but sometimes a lot of I believe the adventure character I was using before, it had a breathing control, which is very nice. There's not really, we didn't need to do it for the walk to run because he's moving so damn quick. You're not going to notice the breathing, the movement of the chest. There's no point. This character does not. It's fine. That is like an advanced thing to do, especially for rigging. Not to say it's like hard or difficult to do. It's just not a common thing to do. It just takes a little extra time that riggers don't see the point in. Sometimes it's all depending on who's rigging, but this could be anywhere from 1 second all the way to 3 seconds, so we're going to stick with the 3 second, roughly. Probably going to get around 60 frames, because it is a very simple cycled motion. This can be done completely mathematically through the animation graph. Like everything should be a sine wave. once we're done. Like every control is going to be a sine wave, and when you click view infinity before and after, it should be perfect everywhere. So that's just the main key to idle poses, which makes them pretty easy. So this should be a very quick stream, but you never know, because I said that about the attack cycle. That should be quick, but granted I haven't done an attack cycle, and Maya crashed on me I think like 9 times. I went back and checked. This should be a lot quicker. I've done this before so many times. I enjoy doing them. There's nothing wrong with them, and it needs to be done. Like, this character does need an idol, but since I cannot stream music, though, I am listening to some music, and we are listening to the lo-fi hip-hop radio relax beats study whatever. There's usually a lot of people watching it. That's why I watch it. Put this on the background, get some good beats going, be your radio host kind of, and we'll get to animating. Everybody having a good day? Nobody's watching me. Love me, people. Just please watch me. Y'all are funny. Oh, don't do this to me. No, come on. But alright, let's get this going. So, ooh. The fuck was that? Oh, that's what happened. I was gonna say, I was like, why is the tongue doing so much? It is out a little farther than I'd like, but it's not that big a deal, and nobody's gonna notice. You're gonna be a character seeing it from this far away anyway. It's not a bad thing. So, we're gonna do it in the middle right now, and just see an up and down. Ooh, wrong one. See how slow it is. Huh. I just want to see it at 60. So now we're just going to work on the timing, see if we like it. I kind of like it back at 90. It's going to be a little bit more work for us. Not that big a deal. Actually, just want to humor myself, see it at 75. I can kind of dig it. Yeah, I like it at 75. Or 76, I should say. Oh. Cheese Louise, did you see that? That was cool. Alright. Right, 38 and then 38. Do it at 80. Just to play it safe. Now it should be good. I like the speed. We're gonna stick with that. We're gonna have it 81. Alright, so this is gonna be the timing that we're gonna have. It's gonna be nice and slow. So the feet never move. We don't want to really touch the feet, but the ankle we can. And we're gonna have to anyway, because when it comes down to when it comes down to its lowest point, the knee should be bending a little bit too. Mother of pearl. So there's a few ways to do these poses and idle poses. You could do them keyframed. This is something I like to do straight ahead. It's a little bit more random, I guess, kind of, because when I do this, I'm like going in between of overlapping and changing up the time between the arms and stuff at the same time, similar to how I do it with the walk and run cycles. That's I normally change it up a little bit. I do it both ways sometimes. I do the keyframed with the feet, but when I start doing the arms, I like doing that separately, straight ahead. So sometimes some of these cycles I do that, particularly with the tack cycle. No, I will do that keyframed no matter what. It's all really dependent, but it gives it a nice lifelike, natural feel. Whereas keyframe could sometimes seem stiff and forced. Sometimes, depending if you do it. So that's why I'm going kind of straight ahead. Kind of. I like working the curves first. That's the best example I'm gonna get. So I'm also gonna offset these two eventually. So it's gonna be, yeah, I like that. Move them up a little bit. Why? That might be more than enough work than I need to do. We're going to see it reversed. Got my contacts. Yeah, I kind of like what this foot's doing a little bit better. What's that, 10? Sorry, I just want to see the other. There you go. And it's giving just enough movement in the foot where I'm okay with that. It might be too much movement up and down. We're going to leave it. We're going to over exaggerate it first and then lessen it later on. Wow. Okay. I keep forgetting that none of these are zeroed out because I'm doing it from the pose. Down. So it is kind of keyframed. It's I do the start and end, and then I work the middle, and then I offset everything, and that's how I work. I find the right cycles of the sine graphs. You can see it's starting to get somewhat of reading motion. We just have to offset the animation now. Right? That one not. Other way. Don't worry, I'm gonna fix that. Too much. Way too much. Then you counteract it with the Almost. Too much rollback on the here still. Like I said, we over exaggerate and we lessen it. Still looks a little weird. It's not bad. I mean, it's not great, obviously. But you can see it's almost like a breathing motion, almost. Let's lessen up the rotation on these two guys. There we go. I like that. I like that. I don't know about you. I like it. Ooh, Nelly. Always do that. What is on 40? So we might have to start offsetting with the shoulders. Awesome. So now you get to see how we offset. And it's the same thing I normally do. Just copy and paste, and then so I get at least one full cycle, and I can just delay things. So that's where it's at currently. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see it at 4. Hell no. Let's go ahead for you know. Try. Wow. I made it made the arm stay perfectly still. That's so funny. Forgot. This rig doesn't work right with oh, the shoulders do. Why is this shoulder not? Oh. Oh my gosh. Why? 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 What is on 80? You're little fuckers. I swear. You're little buggers. I don't understand it. I'm trying to keep everything organized. So we're gonna move all this stuff on the shoulders because it's just counter animating everything. And I think I know why. That's what it is. Okay. Alright. Some weird hiccups. Weird. Are you serious right now? Are you serious? Okay, I'm doing this right now. Oh, that's funny. Alright. We're gonna lessen it, but the timing is almost there. Bueno. So he's a big frog. Doesn't look like he has too much of a nose, so he's gonna be breathing in through his mouth. So he's gonna be like, it's just right. Slowly getting there. But already we got like a. I mean, it's not done, but it's already starting to look pretty decent. So, time for something I can demonstrate as a sword. Not for you, for me. Should be heavy enough. So, I guess just to show you, it's holding a sword, so he's doing this. The right arm is definitely delayed by a little bit. It's not really a lot of movement, but just a slight rock. And that's what we're going for. Hi, Ma. Just doing some animations. Just doing everything I can right now. That's what we got for the shoulder. So the shoulder's pretty much good. We already started the offset, so it's very tiny and minute. So you don't want to move it too much because you're going to be doing a lot of movement through a lot of these. And then eventually we're going to start delaying them, so I'm going to offset this from the shoulder and this from that, and then that from the forearm. So there is a slight more movement to the arm, and I like the slight movement. And we're going to see what happens. Actually, we need to match up these timings with the shoulder. So everything starts with the shoulder. Everything in your hand always goes through your shoulder into the rest from the rest of the body. So start with the shoulder, and that's where the timing is going to start. And start for that is right there. Frame 13. So that's when all the cycles are going to start. So we have all the rotations from these guys. Right? Okay. So we're just gonna bring the each first one to the 13 mark because I can't follow that right now. All right, 13. Ma, if you want to follow along with the music, I got some Come on. Lo-fi hip-hop radio, because I can't stream music. This is what I'm listening to. I got some sweet beats. You can listen along. Put it on in the background, and like it'll be like you're there with me. You know? I mean, it'll be the same exact timing because it's off of a YouTube channel. I'll put it up again there. Lo-fi hip-hop, and it's live right now. It's live. This is what I listen to when I work. It's very nice and relaxing. I think it's what I had on when I picked you up from the airport. But 13 is the starting point. So let's move that 13. Rotation wise, let's copy. So the starting point is right there. That's what we're moving. It's about to match up. Nice one's this one. All right. So this is what it looks like now. And now we're going to offset it. So all of these are now aligned. What we're going to do start to offset them. So 1, 2, 3. We'll do it in threes for right now. So I'll deselect this one. These, and then 1, 2, 3. Deselect that one. And the last one. 1, 2, 3. Might not be enough. It might be so slight. I want to reverse the hand motion. Because as it's coming up, I want it to... Because it's leading with the wrist right now. So we're going to reverse. So we might just be getting... no. So what are all these at? 35? Just make it 30. Street 35. And this is at 31. Make a stream 30. Go 30. 30. What we're going to do is we're just going to flip-flop them, so 35. 30. Yeah, that's the hand motion I want. Might be okay to do that with this too. Let's try it. -17. That's what you all three are going to be. No, the characters aren't always gray and white. I did not receive the UV. Hold on, quick. Let me just finish these numbers and I'll show you what a UV is. -18. -19. Jerk. Let me just redo these and see if this works, and then I'll show you what I mean. Right, that's 18, 17. Something. 19. Let's see if that's going. Yeah, I like that. I'm curious what it would do with the forearm, but okay. So we're gonna get into a little of what is called mapping. You know what? I can do a whole tutorial on this, on how to do one of my favorite animation styles that are. It's more of like a gaming style, but so this is the geometry, right? This is the geometry. So everything that's gray is the actual physical object. Now, there's difference between animation and gaming. So in gaming, what I animate is I animate the invisible skeleton on the inside. And then I hand the skeleton off, and then somebody puts the skeleton back to the skin, the geometry, in-game. Most of the time, that's how it works. For animation, you straight up just, the animation goes to the skeleton, but you render out the geometry as you see on screen from this program or into another program. So, it will sometimes either get colored and movie mapped in Maya, which most of the time it will. Sometimes you could do it in Game Engine, or most of the time you do have to re-put it back in Game Engine. It really depends on the game engine. Like a lot of them work differently. But as for Maya and how Maya works, for an animator, for regular 3D animation shows, movies, and stuff like that, you have this entire character, but how to color it, it's not, you don't just look at it and you color it, because it'll look weird most of the time, unless you're doing a bunch of ZBrush stuff. So what people do is we'll cut it up into different UVs, and then we'll check out the UV editor, and they already cut this up. So what you do is you take the geometry and you cut it up into different shapes, so to speak, and then I'll literally take, I can't really move this right now, and I really shouldn't, just in case they use these models again, or if they have to change anything, I really can't touch them. But I can move these into different squares, and normally you'll get all of these, like you'll shrink them and make them like of equal size relative to each other, and you'll flatten them out like this. This is, I think, the arm. That's the arm right there. Obviously the hand, the foot, the hands. These big ones are the eyeballs. Normally they'll be shrunk down to relative size, so the eyeballs will be like this size, sort of. And you'll print this out, or turn it into an image, bring it over to Illustrator or Photoshop, whichever one you like, and you'll literally paint in Photoshop. And some people do phenomenal jobs. It's called texture artists. They can be linked with a few other jobs. Some other jobs take it over too, but it's starting to develop more of its own job now. I think people are doing it is just texture artists, being able to create these textures, UVing as well. They should know UVing a lot. I've known some texture artists who don't like UVing. UVing by cutting these up, very, very difficult. It's very time consuming just to get them right. I've done a few things myself, and when I do said art tutorial, I'll go over it. I ain't gonna like it, but I'll go over it. But literally, then that color will be sent back to Maya, and then it'll be like, you'll see underneath these white things. These white things are the actual physical UV layout. Whereas if you bring it to Photoshop, it's literally just an image, and you're just painting to the image, and you're creating an invisible layer over top of it. So it'll just be an image of the texture. You won't see the grid or the lines, and you put it back on. Sorry, there's no easy way to explain UVs and where the color comes from. And that's how you would put on a it's all done digitally to do a color for a living, like to coloring that way, and you'd have to know the UV, which is very difficult, which is why a lot of people don't want to do it. But bringing it together is a very difficult, or explaining is difficult in itself on how it works. And then it's not just that, you also have to then worry about bump mapping, which is like it's like an optical illusion to how Maya will render the skin. So like you could have like an alligator skin, right, or like a frog skin texture, and say you got like we'll go back to alligator because it's got more grooves, so you can see like the actual like scaly grooves in it. bump mapping and normals and stuff like that will kind of like affect the illusion of the scale bumping up without having it affect the actual geometry. Because if you were to do that with the geometry, like if you were to actually create every scale for this dude, it would you would have so many polygons, and having that many polygons on a screen would run your computer into the ground and it would take a lot of loading. That's why when you're seeing this much, this actually, like, say this ran back on N64 or even PlayStation 2, this would probably break the PlayStation 2 because of how much polygons are on this character right now. But we are now advanced technologies, we can do this. Eventually, maybe one day we'll do the scaling thing and actually have real scales. Don't know. Currently, it's mostly done in bump mapping and normals, and which also affects lighting and a bunch of other things. It's a whole science to it, and then you can do some of it in Maya too with the hypershade, which you can get some color. So like this is like the base Lambert that everything is usually done in. You can adjust the fongs, the ramps. Oh my god, there's so many different shaders. This is literally just, think of it like the just the color of the skin and another representation of how it is. And that's also affecting lighters jobs. People who do lighting and service artists. There's, oh my god, there's a lot more than people think there is to just making video games and movies. There's a lot of people that work on this stuff. I have to know damn near all of it, but I focus on animation because that's what I like doing. That's what I understand the most. I do understand a lot of rigging too, which is why I can give a few good rigging tips, but I know I'm like rambling on and talking about it, but there's just so much that I just can't explain in one video. Like I can't, like, if Facebook only gives me 4 hours of streaming time until it cuts off the video, I would go into like probably around 3 chunks of those just to explain it all. Like from start to finish a game and how many people are needed on it. 2D, it's a lot. You don't need as much. It still could be just as difficult though, which I almost said bottles my mind, like chaps my mind up like in a bottle. Well, we're doing animation. We're not getting into UV. The other characters though, like sometimes they come pre-textured. This character was not. The adventure character had its textures and I was able to see it and play with it. But that was a finished packaged sellable model, which I did pay for. It was like $30. Very well worth it. The best model and rig I've ever played with. I did not create this. I did not create this guy. I actually don't know who created him. I have an idea on who did it. Maybe I think she did. I never really met her, but I think. I don't really know. I need to ask. And I don't know if the rigger is the same person who created it, created the model. So I'm not sure who did, but I can find it. But that's sometimes how it goes too. Is like in a company, I might not know who the programmer is, who the rigger is. I should know who the rigger is in a game company because I'm going to be kicking back rigs all the dang time. I actually did recently at Blip, and I felt bad about it because I knew who it was. I don't know if she did the rig, but I don't like kicking things back. I mean, it makes more work for other people, but I needed the rig to work. I could have done it myself, but the thing was, I wanted everybody's rig in case somebody else needed the rig. I wanted that one to be the same one that I was using, and I just wanted to make sure everything was right. I didn't want to touch anything else that somebody else was touching and fixing and working on. I didn't want to break it. That's the other thing. I could do it. I just want to play it safe and kick it back. God, that's a long tangent. Alright, We're gonna flatten this out. This is negative 6 point. Oh, my bad. I didn't realize it was in my Discord still. Oh, that's funny. I know, Ma, you don't know what Discord is? So in gaming on PC, Discord is an app. Kind of like a very, very personal Facebook, sort of. I'm going to say. Where you can have like different channels, and somebody creates a channel, and you go in there and you can connect and talk with people. Or create like a little message board stuff. That's Discord, and that's what we use for gaming and talking and stuff, because we don't want to. Some games will have our own game chat. A lot of people don't like doing that because we don't like talking to other people or having other people hear us, so we just keep it to ourselves. But sometimes that could be cheating in games, like Counter-Strike, where they have a system called Dead Men Can't Talk. I don't know if that's the actual title for it, but I know a few other games call it that. Where if you die in a game, your voice chat gets cut off. So I can't tell him, oh, I died, he shot me from over there. So it cuts off my voice. So we try not to do that in certain games that's the actual game style. Because yeah, okay. But yeah. Let's go easier now, can I? Oh. No, we want. Okay. What we are gonna flip floppy is this. We're just gonna see what happens, because I did flip flop the other two. 21.65. It's pretty much 19. Oh. These are pretty much 19. These are 21.5. 21.5 to 19. Don't like it. Much better. But you notice it gets a nice, smooth, overlapping motion. Doesn't look like it's hitting a wall or nothing. So that's also a common thing that you hear in animation, is called, oh, this is hitting the wall. What that means is it'll have like a very jerky motion. Like it'll be like, like instead of the smooth motion that it has right there. And that's just from experience of knowing how things are going to work out and animate. It doesn't hit a wall, and that's key for an idle like this, because you want everything in this type of idle motion to be smooth, and it just makes a much better animation. I mean, you can see right here. I'll turn this off. Like, I'm not even done, but I know ahead of time that this is going to create a very smooth motion the way I'm doing it. And it looks pretty damn good. Not to toot my horn, but I did everything right so far. But so we're actually a good way through this already. Work the other arm, its fingers. We already got the shoulder going, and then we'll offset it, this arm from that arm. So this arm is going to be moving a little bit slower, so we're probably going to adjust the timeline a little bit on that and have this go slower, and then this one go a little bit quicker. That, oh God, pretty much got the legs. We don't touch the toes. We'll touch the belly shield a little bit. The tongue is going to be the biggest thing. The head's already pretty good. I mean, we did a lot already. I told you this one is actually going to be short. I do most of these I do mostly 45-second idles most of the time on other projects, and I get them done in like an hour, if that, and that's when I'm working quick. Normally, when I stream my animations, I do it a little bit slower, obviously, to explain and talk things, but like that. He's the left arm's gonna be a little bit more lighter and airier because of I don't like that rotation. The left, sorry, this arm is gonna be a little bit more lighter and airier because this one's not having a sword in its hand, which is the same thing what we did for the walk cycle. So, yeah. The tongue should be a hell of a lot easier, too. Less of a rotation. I like that. So the timing was again on 13, so we're going to do the same thing for all of these. We'll do it all at once this time. Screw it. We're just going to do all the rotations because I can't tell. I just can't. Well, let's offset. 1, 2, 3, 2. We'll do it on 2. We'll start the offset just a little bit. 2. And last but not least, 1. Fudge. No! Charles! Why? Why? I think we froze, Captain. We were doing so good. Fudge. Fudge, fudge, fudge. Not responding. No duh. 2 seconds. Fudge. Do you know how annoying that is? I'll be up in like a minute. Less than. I didn't save either. We're gonna have to start all over again. But we at least remembered the timing, so like I said, every other time I crash, crashing doesn't have to be a bad thing. You hate that? You don't even know. You don't even know the struggle. No, I didn't save my work. Oh, what are you doing? Alright, we're back up. We have nothing except the tongue messing up for some reason. No, you don't even know the struggles. First world problems. Alright. We're going to 81. So, the reason... Okay. The other thing that's important about doing an idle and a cycle like this, sorry, is you do on 81. 81 and 1 will be the same. So if I was to play this, if it was done, that means we would have 2 frames that are exactly the same. So that's a slight little blip of the character like stopping for like a fraction of a second. So when we go to hand it in, we would just hand in 80 frames, and then 80 will not be the same as 1. It'll just loop back around. So like the next frame would be the same as 1, and then it would come back around. And that's why it loops like that. But we keep 81 the same, just in case if anything on 80 is too far different than 81 or 1. Think of it like a circle. It comes back around, so everything has to be equaling out, which is why I was making sure... Really? You're gonna do this to me? Which is why I was making sure all the cycles were doing everything I needed to. But like I said every other time, crashing doesn't have to be a bad thing. I now cut out all the mistakes. I remember everything I've done. And we can get everything going again. That's what they were. Too much of up and down. But just a little bit too much. We're gonna just add just a little bit. Translate Y should be up and down. It's not. And that's a rigging thing. Not a bad thing. Just not a cleaned up thing. There we go. Yep. Maybe a little bit. Yeah. Just enough. Just enough to wet the eyeballs. Don't know what that means. What we're gonna play with a little bit too, just to humor myself. Just slightly. Just want to see. Yeah, it's not bad. Ankles look fine, giving just enough foot movement. Alright. Maybe I forget some of the things I do. But I also want to see some things too. Yeah, there we go. So the head should stay pretty level. It's got slight rotation on the counter animation, so it's not like perfect, but back to the shoulders. We did a lot of delay on these, so we'll go back to delay. So just catching back up to everything I was doing before. Sorry if I get a little tango down. Tango down is a this is a funny term me and my friends made. We've had a few friends that like would bring their game consoles to their girlfriend's house. I need to flop these two. I don't know how I. And they would always be like in the room with their girlfriends, so whenever we'd play a game and they'd kill somebody, they'd be like, "Tango down." that's what we call it, tango down. And it happened recently too. It was fucking funny. I just got hit with a wave of tiredness. Oop. Oh, duh. Oh, that was 13 last time. I guess this time it's 9. Let's move it up to 13. Huh. I think I flopped these around when I didn't have to. Jeez, what am I doing? I'm getting lost a little bit, but give me a second. Increment and save. I don't want to lose all that again. Granted, it's a little different than last time. I think this should also be flopped. There. I think what I did was I did it right the first time. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, there we go. We got it right. Yeah, I did it right the first time. I didn't have to swap anything. Okay. We did it by 2s, right? 3s. We did it by 3s. Shit. What did we do it by? Ugh. We did by 2s. 1, 2. Saved it. In case anything goes wrong, I saved it. Yeah! We saved it this time. I don't know why it crashed. It's not that, though. I know it's not. It's over. Two seconds. I just don't understand. I feel like it's now become a common thing. I'm not doing anything extensive. Maya, 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 why? Why you do this to me? Alright, we're almost back up. But we at least saved it before it crashed. That's what I'm loving about this computer. This new computer's. I've never ever been able to like it where it will about to freeze up. Give me a second to save, and then it'll freeze completely. Like I never had that happen or heard of that happen ever. Like ever. Like forever. Never had that happen before. So I don't know. I don't know why it does that now, but I absolutely love it. So look, we kept the animation. And we got it just almost back to where we were. Kind of want to add a little bit more rotation on this guy. Too much. So something else that we're gonna do though. This is the up and down motion. What we are gonna do is we are going to extend the length of time that sorry, I like this song. Extend the length of time so it drags. Oh, other way. I'm sorry. Don't watch that. That was wrong. Extend the length of time that it stays on the bottom, so it'll like drag a little bit as it comes up. It'll come up quickly and then go quickly back down. Right. See, it's staying in the bottom position a little bit lower, or in the bottom, in the low position a little bit longer. That's exactly what we want. One, two, three. The only thing is, I think it's too much, so we're gonna lessen it. Or Eh. Nice soft sudden movement. One thing we're gonna do. There we go. Yeah, that's not bad. Now we can do it for the other side. Increment and save. Good to go. Just a little too much. It's alright. We'll roll with it. We'll see how it turns out. I kind of like it. So what I'm doing is I'm offsetting it now by 1 frame. So obviously the shoulders both started at 13. Now this shoulder starts at 14. The shoulder starts at 12. And then this cycle starts at 17, 21, 24. Let's say for this one, 12, 15, 18, 21. So now they're offset by a bunch of frames. I'm not sure if I like the key value of that, but it's close. I like it a lot. We're a good portion of when I say I like it a lot, that's what we're gonna save. I now found my safe word. Save puns. I'm an idiot. I'm a dork. I know. He's got it's a nice breathing motion. This is what we want. And it's keeping that somewhat of that same buff goof personality that he had in the walk. He's got that forward lean. It's matching. It's matching very well. The only thing we got left really is the fingers. We don't really touch those fingers. You don't really have to. And the rotation of the hip, we'll go back and do a little bit. We'll counter animate with the chest, and we won't have to worry about the arms that much. With the belly shield and the tongue. Because a lot of it is in the arms in this one. It's gonna be the arms. Once we get the belly shield and the tongue, like that's gonna be it. But we gotta get the hip rotation back in there. I know I didn't put it in there, but I wanted to. If you're listening to the same thing I am, I'm listening to the chill hop thing. They just did a Samurai Champloo thing. That might be too much. Let's just lessen it because I do like it. I just feel like it's just too much movement. Yeah, that's better. We don't have to do countering animation either because that was just the hip adjust. Yeah, it's just so slight that it's perfect. Alright, fingers. Do what I want. That's awesome. I don't even have to do much. That's great. I prepared so much for this. I only had to do one thing for the fingers. You know how awesome that is? It's like unheard of. Oh my god, this made my day so much easier. I enjoy the little things. Sorry. Again, you want to know what I'm listening to? This is a good song. Lo-fi, hip-hop, radio, beats to relax / study to. It's live, so you'll be listening along with me. And I should really put something up on my stream thing so you can see it. I highly recommend to get the really feel of how I animate and what I do when I animate. Like I really feel like it helps me. You just need something to white noise, I guess. Some people do it. Some people do books, audiobooks. I would do that sometimes. I've done that before. I've done shows. A lot of people can't do shows. I like this thumb. The only thing is we're going to offset it in the future instead of delaying it like we normally do. Just a little bit more. Little bit more. It's so slight you barely notice it, but you'd be surprised with the negative space. I love it. Oh my god, I love the hand. Oh, it's so good. So good. I mean, it's not necessarily like the best thing to do for a hand, but I like it so much. I want to keep it. I said I liked it. It's my safe word. I'm such an idiot. I'm such an idiot. Oh my god, can you even hear me? Is my audio working? It is, okay. I just want to make sure. We're good. I got nobody watching anyway. Just gonna do my quick little technique. How are y'all doing? I am doing great. Bye, Ma. Love you. I do. I, I just want friends. I just wanted to over exaggerate it. It's it's doing it. I am gonna take a 5-minute bathroom break this time. Instead of putting it up that way. Be right back. Sorry, right back. Alright. Hi, I'm back. What's up, dorks? Oh, yes. I'm eating a carrot. Oh, well. Woo! Sorry, I mean, you gotta deal with my crunching. Well. Thinking. Give me a break, dang it. Whoa! Whoa! Wow! I wonder. I wonder. I really think this is gonna work. It should. After one. Lara bars with dates. I don't know what that was. Just in case. There we go. This is my mind for a second. Really? Okay. didn't work. Not the way I planned. The fuck? Come on, you Jerkosaurus Rex. Hi. Yeah, I like that. I like it. I like it. What do you think? I don't remember, but I think this is where overlapping trick did work. And we could really play with it because oh shoot, no, I wasn't supposed to do that yet. I'm sorry. That's so weird. Control copy. Paste. There. Bam. Well, hello. We're almost done. All right, I think it looks pretty good. It, let's look at this. Bugger. Yeah, it's too much to mess with right now, this far into the game. The tongue is too close to the hand. They move too close at the same time. I wonder if I can delay it more. Will that work? I like it. Let's just quicken up just a couple of frames. Come on. I like it. Save. I think we're done. I think we're done. I think we're done. Any comments, concerns? Speak now, forever hold your peace. From the peanut gallery, which is you guys. Negative. Well, I'm happy with it. Let's just clean this up a bit. Windows, animation, graph editors. 81, save, 80, save, 80, 79, save, 1, 2. So the reason I do that is so I can delete the extra frames that are like really close. And then when I knock it down, this should be the correct. So there will be no pause at all. It's so smooth. Unlike my beard. But we did it, y'all. Let's make this pretty, and we're gonna put it up on Facebook. And I'll be back to stream some Apex Legends, hopefully, if Johnny will get on and play with me. Ha! But, yeah. That's how quick it can be. This is probably the quickest one so far. I slowed it down than I normally would animate, but it's still very quick animation. Shouldn't take you that much time. I just wanted to slow down, you know, take my time, make sure everything's right. But yeah, thank you for watching. For those who did watch and comment, I guess maybe one day in the future I'll get famous and you'll be looking back on how I do things. I know. I hope they'll come back and watch this. I doubt it. But maybe I'll be a famous animator one day. What do you think, Harley? What do you think? Famous animator? Do you think it'll be me? Maybe. But I'm always here for questions. I'm here for your critiques too. Critique the crap out of this thing. If you don't like something, let me know. Comment, subscribe, like, follow, whatever you do. Please do it. It's just be you. Don't even follow, like, subscribe. Just be you. Just be you. Enjoy animation. That's all I ask. Enjoy animation. Thanks for watching.